I encourage each of you to explore the power of passion in your speech. Let your emotions guide you and embrace the vibrant energy that comes from experiencing what matters to you. Your voice has the potential to flow when it's fueled by passion. Let's continue to support each other on this journey, finding strength in our voices and passion in our words. And before I pass it back to our lovely hostess for the Q&A portion of this meeting, I urge those of you who raise your hands to ask questions or make comments to do so with as much feeling and passion as possible. If not, I might not respond to any inquiries. Just kidding. Back to you, Fatimata.
No, thank you, Danny. Okay. I see now we are talking with passion. So that was an excellent speech, Danny. And I think that sometimes we don't speak with passion because we think, whoa, it must be too much. But no, I think when you are thinking in your head, this has to be too much, people are seeing it like normal, a normal way of speaking. So it's a very good idea to be the extreme version of yourself, like Coach Lee like to say it every
I
time.
wanted to say you did a fantastic job, buddy. The only thing you forgot to do was raise your hands over your head with a mic,
Oh, that's right.
like the
Passion.
like the image in the same invitation.
Right. You're absolutely right. I
But
forgot.
you did a great job, buddy. I want to say to all newcomers that hard as it is to believe, Danny had a pretty significant stuttering issue. And I believe, Danny, you overcame stuttering about 2 years ago, was it? It took you a handful of months. Can you just give a quick snapshot of your history?
Yeah, absolutely. For 15 straight years, from 18 all the way to 34, I was a mild situational stutterer with blocks.
Okay.
And I tried speech therapy, nothing ever worked. So by the grace of God, I found this amazing program. I joined it December 2022, and I wrote my Stop Stuttering story in April of 2023.
Fantastic. So about 6 months for you. But anyway, fantastic job, Danny. Thank you so much. I loved it. And you were the epitome of passion.
Oh, Danny, so much passion in that speech. Oh,
I love it.
oh. Dude, that was phenomenal, man. Dude, this meeting is on fire right now. That's how good it is, man. I got smoke in my apartment right now. This is absolutely nuts, man. Dude, you killed it and you spoke with passion. And quite frankly, I think this is the best talk you've given so far. And you've given a lot of great talks, but I feel like you knocked this one out of the park. And I think that this speech that you gave will and has inspired everyone in the room. And also, I want to say thank you for making the stuttering app, which is a piece of art. Like, it's amazing. Use the app. I wish I had had this app when I started. You guys are lucky. And guys, give it up for Danny. Like, he just killed it. I don't really have any questions, but Danny, I learned so much from you every time I hear you speak. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Steve. I greatly appreciate your words, but I can't take all the credit because I had an amazing partner in Dean who also helped me develop the app. And just on a side note, because I love to give you your flowers too, guys, please go into the video library right now and watch Steve's first ever coaching session that he did with a gentleman named Austin. I've watched probably at this point maybe 300 to 400 coaching videos, and Steve's video that he did a couple of days ago was in my top 5. I learned so much, and at the same time, you will literally be laughing throughout the entire session because, again, this guy is a comedian. He's hilarious, and he makes me and mostly everybody here practice Crutch 12 without even trying at all. So thank you, Steve.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks, Ding.
Hey, Danny, your speech was fantastic. You sounded great. I felt the enthusiasm coming through the screen. My question is, did you have a crutch or a speech plan during your speech, or did you just get up there and wing it?
Yes, I was basically trying to do Crutch 8 through my entire talk, you know, voice modulation, speaking with more passion, feeling, changing my voice register by going high on some words and then soft on other words. So basically it was all crutch 8.
Well, fantastic. You sounded great, and you're very engaged, and you were also one thing that I pay attention to with these speeches is your cadence and your patterns at the beginning versus the end, and you were very consistent all the way through. So whatever you were doing was working great.
Such great talk. My question is, what cue would you recommend for a PWS to sound more passionate? I say this because when I started reading aloud, I really didn't know how to sound passionate. I felt like I was just sounding flat throughout my reading out loud. So what cue would you give a PWS to sound more passionate?
Yeah, I mean, especially after my talk today, I'll be like, if you want to speak passionately or if you want to read passionately, then all you have to do is watch my Sam talk today. And I know with some people, you know, reading aloud could be like doing a chore. So that's why you have to basically pick up material that you're really into. And again, when you're reading aloud, you just have to invoke so much passion and feeling. Basically, well, I don't want you to be too over the top like I did today, but I certainly don't want you, as I mentioned during my Sam talk, to basically be reading the material like I'm doing right now, kind of in a flat zone with no personality. You know, just put a little bit of feeling and excitement that I'm doing right now. You know, just a little bit feeling, excitement, enthusiasm, because I'm telling you, this will invoke something within your body. And I also encourage all you guys to do the same while reciting your positive affirmations.
I really loved your speech. There was so much passion and enthusiasm. So, actually, speaking with passion makes you an interesting speaker. And also, since you're also talking with emotions and feelings, you kind of you don't hold back anymore, right? It helps you not hold back, and hence you don't stutter. And Danny, I just wanted to ask you one question. You are the only person, okay, I've seen who speaks with word linkage for a quite long increment. Like you don't insert stops that often, right? It's not short at all. It's quite long. But how do you do it? Like, is it does it feel good for you while doing that, or you run out of breath sometimes?
Oh, of course, as I tell everybody, you really don't want to, you know, hold your tone and exceed more than 7 words because eventually you're going to run out of breath, as I'm going to do it about in a few seconds. And now I just literally ran out of breath. So that's why I always say when using word linkage, the shorter the increment, the stronger the hold that your word linkage is going to be. And it's quite surprising that you feel like maybe during today's talk that I was using a little bit of word linkage, but maybe I was, but I was just fully dialed in on just giving my talk with a lot of passion.
Right.
Mhm.
Wonderful, wonderful. Since I didn't see, you know, stops at all, like once in a while, of course there was, but it was literally like a song for me. You're just going on and on and on. So I just wanted to ask you that question. Wonderful,
Well,
great talk, Danny.
Thanks for that great talk. It was short and sweet and very concise. And I loved the way you spoke, of course. And I will also take that note, of course, with the stops. The same issue that seems to be human, as to what Leah said, happens to me a lot, especially when I'm speaking about something I'm passionate about. Then I get carried away, for example, when someone asks me anything even remotely related to guitar, my speed ramps up very quickly. So I don't have a question per se. I just wanted to say I appreciate you being here. And you probably remember that you were the one who actually recommended me Lee's book in the first place. I'm very thankful for that and very thankful for for this whole community of wonderful people and effective methods. Thank you.
I agree 100%. And I am so glad that you took me up on that direct message that I sent you on Reddit because you are an absolute light to all of us. Every time I see you in a practice session, as well as a SAM meeting, I immediately start going to Crutch 12. So thank you for also being an inspiration. And I hope by early 2025, we get a Stop Stuttering story from you, as well as a SAM talk. So thank you, my friend.
Danny, I just wanted to echo what everyone has already said. Your passion really exuded through your talk. Uh, and the question that came to my mind was, I think it's easier for me to emphasize on my words and show passion when I'm giving a speech, when I'm on stage. But how do you do it when you're talking to someone one-on-one, or whether you're talking to someone on the phone? How do you show the same level of passion in your voice?
Well, the way that I'm doing it right now, like the sole dominant thought, especially when dealing with crutch 8, is just focus on passion, focus on excitement, focus on enthusiasm. Like I'm not reading a script anymore. I'm just speaking to you right now with a lot of passion. And I want to say if you get enough reps underneath your belt, especially when conversing with other people, because of course, it's one thing to practice speaking passionately when you're alone. Now, when you're in a high pressured speaking situation and all your thoughts are going to be like, oh God, I'm going to stutter. I want to say this word, but I know I'm going to block on it. This is where you have to think solution to the problem and not negatively thinking about the problem itself. So if you're thinking about passion, extreme pronunciation, word linkage, the stuttering will not be there. Hopefully that answers your question.
Right, right. Yeah, it did. Thanks. And there's one more thing I'd like to add. When you say it like you mean it, and you said that you were starting to sound like Coach Lee. Well, there's one small element that you missed, and that was "S- say it like you mean it."
That's right. Yeah. You're absolutely spot on.
That's all.
Your speech was phenomenal. It was like amazing. And number two, Lee, you speak with so much passion. So I was asking, what is the way to like speak with like lots and lots of passion so effortlessly?
Yeah, I guess I could say this one. You basically, as I just told Aldrin, you have to get enough repetitions underneath your belt. So if for the next couple of weeks, all you do, like when you're conversing with your siblings, with your mother, father, if you just do it in a passionate way, like how I am doing right now, I'm telling you, this is where you're going to develop the new habit of always getting into your conversations and speaking more passionately. Also, I want to tell the group here, this gentleman here is the most courageous 13-year-old that I know in the world. No lie, I had a consultation with this kid maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was nearly blocking on all his words. And as you can see now, after 2 or 3 weeks, his speech sounds phenomenal. And as I told you on Friday or Wednesday, whatever day it was, I told you this, you are on fast track to becoming the fastest PWSS that this program has ever seen. So if you basically hit a 30-day consecutive streak, I would not be surprised if we get a Stop Stuttering story from you in January of 2025. So thank you for always being a light every time I enter a practice session. And of course, these same meetings.
This conversation has been great. Everybody's got me fired up. Yeah, perfect timing because I just got up and I need to go do something, maybe hit the gym. My question was to Danny. He mentioned something that reminded me of what my old mentor, kind of an old mentor during a few, low points of my life. Um, he's definitely someone I look up to considering he's, got a lot of things going for him, great family. He's creative at a older age and he's an artist, photographer, uh, massage therapy. He does a lot of things, but he's a good man. And he told me one time about affirmations, and I didn't take it too seriously. He mentioned when doing that, he does it every day, and he's pretty religious about it. He has index cards. I've seen. I haven't talked to him in a while. He has a busy life, but he said to add emotion when you do your affirmations, and to me at that point in my life, I didn't really have too much, I guess, understanding of what that meant. And I just wanted to ask you, because you mentioned Danny, say your affirmations with emotion, and it just rang a bell. And I thought, hey, how has that worked out for you?
Yeah, absolutely. As I tell people all the time, forever grateful for Lee and this amazing program because, yes, it helped me stop stuttering. But the single greatest takeaway was by far affirmations. And I'm going to be completely transparent with you. For the first couple weeks, I was just saying my affirmations because that's what Lee advised to do in the book. But after a while, I really started to believe what I was saying. And of course, if you just go about saying your affirmations just like this, every day and in every way, my speech was better and better. Every day and in every way, my speech was better. Every day and every way, my speech was better. That's really not going to invoke anything within your body. So again, going back to passion, if you can just put some feeling, excitement, and enthusiasm into what you have to say, and then it's definitely going to invoke something within your body. And that's why to this very day, and quite frankly, until the day that I die, I would always recite my affirmations each and every day, just like this. Every day and in every way, my speech grows better and better. So you basically want to read everything aloud with as much feeling as well as reciting your affirmations with as much feeling as possible.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I call Coach Lee the Elon Musk of speech. Danny was actually the first person that I had the pleasure to speak to, and he was amazing. His story was amazing, very inspiring, and I mean, just the way that Danny speaks is just very fluently and very inspiring. You know, very professional, and you know, I look up to Danny as far as uh strategizing my speech plan and hopefully one day becoming as fluent as Danny. And my comment was actually for Noah from Switzerland. Last week I made a speech on Sam and I spoke about a speech session with Coach Lee that I witnessed, I watched, and I saw how the gentleman was, you know, first struggling with his speech. And when Coach Lee implemented the, I think it was the word linkage and the singing, he became very fluent. And today I just completed a group session with Noah, and I was very impressed and very amazed on how fluent he was. And I just wanted to, you know, comment and give praises to Noah for his improvements. That's pretty much all.
Thank you. Peace and love.
Amen to that.
I just wanted to thank you. I just wanted to thank Danny, and I just wanted to thank the WSSA community. I am 49 years old. I have had this blocking condition since age 4, and I just wanted to say that this is the first time I have had hope in my life. So it's all I wanted to say.
Muchísimas gracias, mi amigo españolito.
Thank you very much, Antonio, for your comment.
I'm really sorry. I actually missed your legendary speech. I actually came out of a movie. I came out of Mona too. I just finished watching it, but I just came here just to ask one question. So you said for us to be completely a PW person, a PWSS person who stops stuttering, you have to have 30 consecutive days or have days where you do not block. But there are certain instances in a day where I do force it, and what I want to ask is how do you fully convince yourself that you're completely done with this? Because I actually throughout the day I actually don't have that many bad instances, but the ones I do, I force it. Doesn't feel that great.
Right. The only thing that I can say is make sure you are not being a harsh grader of your speech. As Lee says, it's got to be either pass or fail. Pass means when we clearly don't appear speech disabled, and a failing grade means when we do appear speech disabled in the eyes of a fluent person in which they can say, yes, that person over there has a severe stuttering problem. And to be honest, thanks to Coach Lee's book, I look back at my 15 years when I was a stutterer, and there were so many moments that's swirling in my head right now that I look back and I definitely consider those to be major bad speech incidents. But as Lee says, those were not clearly appearing speech disabled. So do not grade yourself too harshly. And unless you're not repeating your words, unless you're not forcing your words, or if you're having a major block like that, everything that I just did was clearly appearing speech disabled. Anything other than that is a passing grade. Don't harp on it. Don't overanalyze it. Because if you really think about it, even the most fluent, confident people in the world, they occasionally block, stumble, repeat their words all the time, but they don't think anything of it. They just continue on with their day, with their conversation, like nothing happened. So bottom line is do not grade your speech too harshly.
And so one last thing. So everywhere I go, I should just fill my mind with fluency memories of each and every instance.
Exactly.
Just fill my mind with that. I should maybe I should use my mind training, and I should visualize all the past incidents that were really good for me.
Exactly. You want to do that. You want to start reciting one of your positive affirmations because that also helps. And if you feel under pressure, this is when you have to dial in into your speech plan. And of course, the most basic one that we have is short link stop. So if you're speaking every 1 to 7 words or so, linking your way through your words and coming into full stops for at least an extra second or two after speaking every 1 to 7 words or so. If you are fully dialed in on that plan, you will not stutter in any conversation you have for the rest of your life.
Okay. So I have to have a speech plan for every moment when I'm speaking to my mom. Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Hi.
Actually, when I speak with passion, with smile, with love, I speak very nice, never stutter. I enjoy it. But my problem is, and I don't, I just want to ask you, when I speak very fast. So how can I control my speed? How can I control it? Mostly I speak, the fastly what I don't want. So I want to control my speed. So how can I control my speed? This is my question. And thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yes. The way that you are going to control your speech is what I am doing right now. Because just like you, at times I was a very fast talker, even though I feel like I'm reverting back to my old ways. However, if you dial in on extreme pronunciation, as I am doing right now, it's going to be impossible for you to talk quickly. Because if you are over enunciating all your words, again, it's impossible for you to speak really, really quickly. And then more importantly, adding short increments into your speech, as I am doing right now. And if you combine these two things into one, you're not going to be speaking relatively quickly in any conversation that you have. But just like with anything else, you have to be dialed in into your speech plan or any of your crutches. As I told you many times in the practice sessions, if you start a conversation utilizing a crutch or a speech plan, make sure you finish the conversation utilizing that same crutch or speech plan. Hopefully, this can help.
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it.
Danny, lovely talk. I learn a lot from you every time. Thank you very much. Just almost a quick question. I don't know who to direct this to, so I will leave it up to whomever feels that they have the best answer. My question is, how much of an impact does perfectionism has with the stuttering problem? And should we also try to fight perfectionism as a means of also dealing with this stuttering problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think perfectionism has a great deal to do with stuttering, because when I was a stutterer for 15 straight years, I was the biggest perfectionist in the world. I thought I could never have any minor stumble on my speech. I always thought I had to be 100% fluent, 100% clear. But as I mentioned earlier, fluent, perfect speech does not exist in this world. Because again, even the most fluent, confident speakers at times, they repeat, they block, and they're forced their words. So you just got to remember, at the end of the day, we are imperfect humans. You know, we're born imperfect and we're going to die imperfect. And nothing on this planet is perfect. So as Lee says, just do your best every single day. And if you're doing that, and then you are winning the game of life.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
As to Danny's talk, as everyone has said, 10 straight tens, it's fluency, content, delivery, karma, and of course, enthusiasm, passion, all of that tens. In his Q&A, Danny talks too fast, in my humble opinion, and he doesn't use stops really at all. And in my opinion, his speech would be more effective. He would sell better if he slowed down and inserted stops and practiced more of what he did during his talk. So that would be my advice to Danny at this point in time. And I, Danny, make the same mistakes that you made in the Q&A if I don't keep the governor on my speech. I do the same thing. It's human. You talk like you never stuttered in your life, but you and I know that you did. And so did I. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you, Fatimata.
Now it's time to close our meeting. I hope that you enjoyed exchanging thoughts with ex-stutterers and those fast becoming ex-stutterers. I will now end with our motto. Feel free to say it along with me. If you can say one word, anywhere, anytime, you can say and love to say any word, anywhere, anytime. Until next Saturday, have a great weekend, everyone.